Signature TV, news in your pocket. Every second, every minute, every day, news is breaking, events occur, and there are new developments. At Signature TV, we follow these stories objectively, bringing all sides without bias, explaining the complex issues, breaking down the numbers, and investigating the issues behind the news. Anywhere and everywhere, near or far, wherever the news is, we will be there. Signature TV, news in your pocket.
Welcome back. You're still watching Signature Morning on Signature TV, and now we're moving on to domestic tourism. It has become one of the fastest growing drivers of Nigeria's creative economy. And there's a conference that's going to be holding in ENUGU. So we're going to be talking on the Domestic Tourism Conference ENUGU 2025. And with us in the studio today is Chioma Obi. She's a travel consultant, and she's the MD, Jan's Travel Network, Director of Jan's Travel Business School, ENUGU. Good morning and welcome to the program.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for...
How are you?
Very well, thank you. Okay, so before we go into the conference, I'd like you to just give a kind of background to domestic travel within Nigeria and, how, it's looking like currently.
Well, I'd want to simply use my state, ENUGU, as a good example. I would say generally the awareness is beginning to be stronger than what it used to be. The industry is growing every day, more people coming into it, and then those into it are trying to upgrade themselves. Travel within Nigeria is gaining popularity. We still have our challenges, but I'm sure that with time we will get there. It'll take time, yes, but we'll get there. Rome was not built in a day.
Yeah.
So it's something that we are happy for because it's coming at a time when Nigeria needs another source of income altogether, okay? Something that will put us in good image in the world, and I think it's something. It's an industry that if the government, if the leadership of the country focuses on, it's going to be what would I call it, a blockbuster, and have its ripple effects. Okay, so more visitors into the country, more visitors into the state means more money, more business opportunities. So.
All right. So, could you share what actually inspired Jan Travel Business School to spearhead this particular conference?
It's actually what we were talking about because we started with trainings and all that, but we noticed that we still need to take the message out to people, not just wait for them to come to the class. Okay, we need to take the message out to people. We need to tell them that a lot of things are possible, a lot of opportunities, a lot of openings are possible in the industry. And what better way to do it than bringing people together, hosting a conference, seminars, workshops that would tell people that a lot of things are happening in an industry and you are not a part of it. You need to get busy with it. If you look at what is going on in ENUGU, the governor has opened up the state. Let me use that word. There's still a lot to be done, yes, but let me use that word. He has opened up the state, and it is time for the average ENUGU person to, as much as possible, get creative enough for him or her to plug into what is going on. When the leadership is agile and doing something, it trickles down. Okay, so a lot of people ask, so how do I? That's the reason why the conference comes in. It focuses, it gives us pointers on different areas within tourism that we can leverage on, make the most out of it, starting from the people that own hotels down to the average Okpeye seller, who, or even the craft person who should go from just making what do you call it, the wooden spoon, turning gari, to start putting together something that is something that someone can take and put in their offices, in their homes as aesthetics, something to beautify their homes. So it's a way to wake our minds up, make us understand that it is time to mine our minds, dig into that creative part of you, get innovative, especially for the youths. It's their time to do it.
Yes. Now, I'm sure a lot of people will be wondering, okay, this domestic tourism conference, what are we going to be doing? You know,
what are we going to expect?
What are we going to be doing? What's going to be, you know, all the package in the conference and stuff like that.
True. Okay. Domestic tourism conference is simply a way of looking inwards, okay, at our uniqueness, at what we have to sell to the world, what makes us different. Our culture is number one, because it's our culture that gives us several areas. We are talking about the food. When you talk about food, you're not talking about rice, which we know everywhere, basmati and the rest of them. We're not talking about the salad, but we're talking of what is ours. That's where you bring in okpa and the ayaraya and the rest of them. Then you talk about our dressing. That's where the Ankara comes in, the Ishiagu or Ishiodum, and then the what do you call it, Ashoke, and the rest of them. Okay. Then you now go to our dance. That's where you have our own performances, all getting innovated, all getting upgraded, and the rest of them. Then you now talk about our craft, the beads, the carvings, and the rest of them. The conference is supposed to highlight what we have, especially for this year, okay? This year will start tomorrow at 9 a.m., which is the 5th, with brainstorming session. That's why we have His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi coming in, a lot of other speakers. The idea is, okay, we have issues in the sector, let's discuss it, let's throw more light. We have a lot of students from the tertiary institutions, and we want them to come because they're the ones who would ask the questions that would pinch whoever is supposed to, okay? We want them to come in, have that interactive session. There'll be brainstorming, there'll be arguments. Oh yes, that's what it's supposed to be. Not just the speakers, but also the panelists from the academia, from the industry, from the hospitality, and all that. Now, that is for tomorrow. But we also recognize that when you're celebrating art and culture, you need to identify those things that make up our art and culture, okay? That's where the second day comes in. The second day is an outdoor all the way. That is where we are showcasing, okay? Bringing out to the world the idea, the significance of Iwoji the traditional prayers, what we used to, how we used to live, what we had before the Westerners came in, okay? So that we do not relegate it. It's time that we bring it back and make it the center of our lives once again, okay? But make it better. So we start from the Iwoji by Igwe or Gadagidi, okay? And then we go on to recognizing the DG, the Dinta, the tappers, those handwork we had that glorified every youth that got him or herself involved in the first place in the old days. We also have, we started it last year anyway, but this year we have to make it better. We have palm wine from the 5 southeastern states coming into Enugu.
Wow.
Yes, we had it last year. So we have all that palm wine, and then we have a palm wine tasting competition. Okay. So this is us. This is us trying to say that even the tappers, even palm wine tapping was a very good source of income. So that we don't think that it is only those who own hotels that would earn from tourism. No, the woman selling egusi will earn from tourism, because when visitors come in, if instead of them to buy it in the urban markets, they would rather buy it there. Okay, those who are into pottery at Uzuwani and in other parts of Enugu, this is the time. So that's why on the second day we have the marketplace, the crafters, the beaders, the fashion people, the chefs. We have a cooking class by the Lantana College of Hospitality showing us an indigenous meal and highlighting the health benefits. There are a lot of diabetes and blood pressure going around, so we want them to give us one indigenous meal that helps us balance this health situation. So it's going to be, what would I call it, interesting. I can't even wait for it. I'm the one, but I can't wait for it. Then we have a whole lot of dance sessions, and then the masquerade performances. It's you understand, masquerade performances that are going to be there. What are we trying to do there? We're trying to ensure that it is our thing, and we are celebrating it. It is our thing. We need to know that we have it. We need to see the beauty in it, because it is when you know the value of what you have that you're able to sell it.
All right. So we would like to know who are the major players in this event, who are the keynote speakers, what metrics did you use to choose them?
Okay. Okay, that's another one. I didn't see that one coming. Okay, the keynote speakers, keynote, His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi, former governor of Anambra State, has always been an advocate for the right way of living. And we think that he's the best fit for it, because he comes across as one who challenges the status quo or several policies that are not so right with the country or with the masses. So this is an industry he also needs to have his fingers in, because this industry is one that is going beyond what we normally see, has a whole lot of opportunities. He's the type who is what would I call it, bent on ensuring that everyone has equal opportunities. There are opportunities for the youths and all that. He's always he's a lover of opportunities for the youths, entrepreneurship and all that. So it is good he comes in here, okay, because he will now be our advocate to talk to the government, to talk to the policymakers, and put his finger on, okay, issues centering a particular sector that hasn't been looked into very well, okay? That's for His Excellency. We have Chief Ben Etiaba, who is also in the political space, okay, also into advocacy, a management consultant, and one who is well known. Now, he is the chairman, board of trustees of Jan's Travel Business School. So don't wonder so far why we chose him. So, and has done a lot about reforming the school and making it a household name, sort of. okay, he is coming in from the idea of a management, or from the angle of a management consultant. Okay, how best do we put out our tourism so that we do not mismanage, the sector gets managed well, all the players in the sector. So he's coming in from that angle. We also have Monsignor Professor Obiora Ike as one of the speakers too. He's well known. He's well known for his strength in terms of building youths, okay, entrepreneurship, especially with what he's been doing with Seed Jab, okay. So you don't think far why we brought him in, okay. And he's the founder of Ofuobi. So naturally he's well inclined. He's one who always wants that aspect, okay, of youth innovation, entrepreneurship, skill acquisition, and the rest of them. Lastly, among the keynote speakers, we have Dame Elizabeth Ago, okay, a former CBN director, okay, and she was a pioneer controller for CBN at Asaba. Now, she's going to tell everyone, okay, how do we access funds? If you're in the industry, how do you access funds? How do you kickstart? How do you put together your, what do you call it, your books, your reports? How do you put together a profile that will make what you want to sell appealing to investors, okay? So we also have a host of panelists, amazing panelists. We have the head of department, hospitality and tourism of UNN. Okay, we have a member of Rotary. Rotary does a lot in terms of advocacy and building of the students, the youth, and the common man. We have Hassan, okay, Hassan Zakari, the executive director of West African Tourism Organization. He understands what is happening outside and feels that there's a need for us to replicate what other nations are doing, okay, to the betterment of ENUGU and Nigeria. Okay, the man from Rotary is the district governor-elect, the next district governor. That's what do I call it? Chibuzo, Mr. Chibuzo Hasogwa. I have my head full. Okay, then okay, we have UC, the moderator, Uche, the moderator of the panel.
Oh, wow.
We also have the artistic director of Adanta Cultural Dance Troupe as one of them. The director of the Center for Memories. In fact, we were able to pick notable people that we know will thrash the topic of the year, the theme of the year, as much as possible. So it's something we want everyone. It's a platform we want everyone to come into. It's an event that shouldn't be missed, because not just the brainstorming, the networking and all that, but at least you get to relive Nigerian culture. Okay.
Yes. Now you mentioned about the theme and having people to talk, to do justice to the theme. So let's talk about the theme.
Okay.
I'd like to know, what is the idea behind the theme for this year, and what about it?
Okay, last year we had creating a synergy. That was the theme for last year. Okay. Now, last year had the idea of bringing together, telling the players in the industry. You have hospitality, you have the restaurants, you have the tour guides, you have the tour companies, that we need to work together. We're going to get our domestic tourism right. We need to work together. Now, when we know that we need to work together, then the idea now is, what is it that we are going to sell? What is it that we have? It is when you know what you have that you know what you're going to sell. I keep telling people. So why we did it last year is to start telling them, okay, there's something happening, and we need that charity to start from home.
Yes.
Okay. Now let's come together and create a synergy so that when somebody comes down at the airport, there's a meet and greet. There are hospitable people at the airport to meet with the person. The person takes a cab. That's where transportation comes in. The person takes a cab, and the person is headed to his hotel. Infrastructure comes in there. The person is seeing the street lights, the streets well maintained, clean, and all that. Then the person gets to the hotel. Hospitality comes in. Okay. The person gets to the hotel. How is he greeted at the hotel? Okay. What is he served with? That's where a lot of countries get their pass mark, but we still have a lot to do there. And from hospitality, the person is now, okay, I want to see ENUGU. I'm done with the conference I came for, or whatever it is I came for. I want to see ENUGU. And then we have people, that's where the travel companies come in, the tour operators come in, and we have people go around to take them to see the uniqueness of ENUGU. Now, this year, what is that uniqueness? What are those things we have to showcase to the world? The most important thing is that we're able to put all of those in ways that are standard enough, okay, for the international community. Okay, so that's what we are doing this year. Domestic tourism in Nigeria, embracing our art and culture. Because if they come into ENUGU, we're not going to show them South African dance moves. It is ENUGU dance moves we're going to show them. If they come into ENUGU wanting to taste something unique of ENUGU, we're not going to give them basmati rice. It is gin beans.
Yes.
It is gin beans that we're going to give them. It's abacha we're going to give them. So if they come into ENUGU, what can I see? I'm not going to take them to see something sculpted outside of ENUGU. I'm going to take them to Bona Gallery, N Gallery, Center for Memories, the IMT Park, Museum Park, the Unity Park. That's where we come in. Now, if they get to these locations, it is now for us to get creative. What do they now get to do there? And then we now start talking about Ncho. Let's get Ncho as something they can do there, okay? Let's put together a dance for them. Let's put together a masquerade performance for them, okay? So, but all of this, when they are done, they would want to take a piece of ENUGU home. So what is that piece of ENUGU we have? That's where our fashion comes in. That's where our beads come in, okay? That's where the unique things that come out from the soil of ENUGU comes in, like the pots from the original Olo of Uzuwani, you understand? So that is what they can take on. Now, if you look at everything I have mentioned here, it is our thing. It's what makes us unique. So we need to embrace our art and culture.
Oh,
That's lovely.
But then I know that there is no gain without pain. So what are the major challenges that you face so far, your organization, and trying to put this together over the years, even for last year?
Okay, last year, when you're about to start up something, it's different from what every other person is doing. People haven't heard about it before. There's this reluctance. Okay, there's this. What am I going to gain from this? What is the need for me and things like that. So that's what we've been facing. Also, I'll use two yardsticks here: awareness, training, and then the leadership. Okay. Now, if you look at it, the leadership of Enugu State has made it possible for people to say, wow, okay, something like this is possible. Oh. Now, even the people who parked cars in their houses have seen that I have to go and bring it out and start a cab business. This car is parked in the house, it's not doing anything, okay? Let me use it to earn. People opened up their houses for the NBA conference for lawyers to stay in. It got that bad. That's to show you that we don't have enough. We still need more, okay? Especially with what the governor is putting together. If he's going to put together all that infrastructure and he's opening up our hands to more visitors, then we need to know that it's time for everybody to be ready. So if there's this change in the usual way of doing things at the hem of affairs, then everybody has to key in, okay? Now, when you come to training and awareness, we do not have enough of it. We still need to drum, and if I use a microphone, several over and over again, for people to know. Because it's because they don't know that there are opportunities. That's where we have these challenges you're talking about, okay? That's where you come out to talk about, we can actually train you to be a tour guide. And the person will be, so how will I make money from it? What? Or do you know that around the tourist attractions, you can set up something and you're making sales, or even if you get visitors and the community has been enlightened that, okay, visitors are coming, you set up one or two things, you make whatever it is you make, is it beads, is it pots, is it whatever it is you make, you can set it up so that people can buy. So it's because we do not know, lack of knowledge. That's the most important thing. And we have always needed the help of the people who are the helm of affairs, who are very good travelers. Most of them travel. Yes. So they see all these things. So it's good that somebody who's that well-traveled is the one who's handling us right now, because yes, he will know where to put the the pegs. Okay. So the challenges we have always faced are simply lack of knowledge about the industry and its opportunities, and possible leadership, because when leadership gets it right, do you still hear insecurity? Did you hear any insecurity with all the visits? Do you understand? It simply cleans it out, because everyone gets busy. Nobody has time for negative stories, because it's somebody who is idle that has the time to pick up their phones and stay and snap one negative thing and send it out and caption it the way they want, and it travels very fast. You understand? Nobody has the time to sit down idle and look for one petty crime to do or the other, but sees that there are opportunities and keys in. You understand? So those were just the challenges we had. I'm sure that with time, yes, with time it will be better. Exactly. It's just started.
Now you made mention of the keynote speakers you have at this conference, but I'd also like to know, what about partnerships and collaborations? What kind of partnerships did Jan's Travel Business School do to make this event possible? And,
that's one very inspiring part of it all. I would say inspiring, because when we started, that was why I said with time it will get better. Because when we started, like I told you, there was this reluctance to be a part of it. But this year, oh my goodness.
wow.
Yes. In fact, Signature TV is a great partner in this, and other media houses. We also have a lot of brands wanting to identify Nigerian breweries, MTN, Health Focus, FIT Healthcare. I can't start mentioning all of them. Okay. And then you now come to our beloved partners of Ofuobi, Benetiaba Advisory. All of these people have helped us to shape and build, and they've also helped us mine our minds, get out everything about being creative inside of us to make sure that the event is a success. So the partners we've had this year are amazing. You need to be there, because all of them will be there, especially at the marketplace. We have a lot of them exhibiting, coming to showcase what they have. We have somebody who has an app, a cooking app.
Wow.
Innovation, okay? So, so yes, it needs you to start something sometimes and let people understand what it is you're doing, your trajectory, and then they will now understand how to follow, okay? So I think that's what has happened this year. Yes. And I'm sure that other years will be fantastic.
Yes,
definitely.
Okay, so tell us the procedure towards, entering this conference. Is there some form of registration, ticket buying, or is it free entrance?
Oh yes, there's registration, but attendance is free.
Okay.
We want, yes, it's, we want, I keep saying the more the merrier. We want people to come in to see what it is we are doing, but we want you to register. Let's be able to get your feedback when you're done with it. So there's a registration, but it's not paid, it's free, okay? For those who require certifications, those are the people we make to pay a stipend and all that. So yes, registration is free. I think we have the QR code that can be scanned, and then the link. Okay, I think we can send it to you later to put it out there. You simply click on the link and register, scan the QR code and register. So yes, you get to register, but the event is free.
Okay. So now, as the organizer, the main organizer of this conference, I'm sure you have a lot of expectations and you have a lot of things you're looking forward to at the end point of this. So I'd like to know, what outcomes are you expecting? What are your expectations from this year's conference? And do you have any tracking methods or anything to know if the motive of this conference actually got to?
Okay, good one. When you talk about what I hope to be the impact, I think that's what you're asking. Yes, from last year's event, we started having requests. Okay, you put together something like this in ENUGU, so we want to come into ENUGU. What can we see when we come into ENUGU? Or what can we engage in? It also put us on our toes, which is needed, because it also helped us start reaching out to different, unique organizations that normally you won't think of. Okay, let me put it that way. That was when we got to know about the Uzowani pottery. We got to open up to several galleries, art and all that. We got to start getting into creative people who are making things out of our Ankara, the crafters, the beaders and all that, making jewelries. I do a whole lot of beaded jewelry. I do a whole lot of them, especially on my neck. It's better for me, especially for the skin. Okay, so that was what it made us do, and now start curating tours of Enugu State. Now, currently, yes, we can actually take visitors. I don't care how much the number or how many people. We can actually take you on a 2-3 day tour of Enugu with lined up activities. Okay, because I keep telling people that Enugu tourism doesn't start and end with hiking trails.
Yes.
Okay, so hiking trails is just one. You hike because that's where you see the beauty, the scenic beauty of Enugu. That's different. So first of all, it started with, okay, let's see what you have in Enugu. Let's see what Enugu holds. And then the bombshell happened. The governor opened up the ICC and all that. Rest is history. Now this year we're expecting more of that. We're expecting that because we have people in the political circle come to thrash issues, answer questions, that they would take a message back home, okay, to the leadership of the state, of the country, that there's more to be done. We have also begun to see, from what I told you, the youths coming up with different things, coming up with creative things that they can do, okay? Who knew that somebody could make an app that would give you the recipe of a meal and give you the ingredients and all that, and the person is actually selling on Google Play Store. Yes, thank you. You understand. So these are some of the things we are looking out for. For the youths, the panel session has a lot to do with youth innovation in the sector. For the youths to now start mining their minds. What can I do that is different? How can I plug in? Okay, that is what we are trying to achieve, to inspire creativity at the end of it all, okay, to make our culture and our arts a lot beautiful for us to be able to sell to the outside world. Are you into dance? Are you a storyteller? It is very important. Are you a content creator? It is important. Those are the things that are making money right now. Yes.
Okay, so beyond the expectations, how do you envision the ripple effect of this, cultural tourism on Enugu, Southeast, Nigeria entirely?
Okay, ripple effect. Beautiful. The ripple effect, in fact, when you talk about ripple effect, let's talk about the surface. When we're talking this morning, finishing up on arrangements and all that, and we're looking for even the rainmakers.
Wow.
So if you're talking of ripple effects, welcome to it. Yeah. If you're talking of ripple effects, yes, you're welcome. Okay. How do we get now? We also have, when you talk about ripple effect, no matter what it is you have as a craft, as a handcraft, as whatever it is you think you have as a talent, it is left for you. This is a platform for you to showcase it. Okay? Now, like I told you something, the woman who is even breaking egusi, talk about ripple effect. We're still going to take people around Enugu. They are still going to get into our markets. We are going to hire people to secure Ufobi. Let's come down further.
Okay.
We are going to get into our markets. We are going to sell crafts and all that, which is what is happening right now. We have exhibition stands for all that. So if we talk about ripple effects, you bring up the woman who cooks okpa on the roadside and you ask her to come in. Your okpa is nice, come in, okay? You bring up the chefs who have left the normal continental dishes to be focused on our unique dishes. Ripple effect. There are so many ways that tourism trickles down. They come in, they are going to lodge in a hotel, okay? Now when they lodge in a hotel, they're going to want to see Enugu. The taxi man, most people that came last year were so excited about it. Let me enter keke. I'm also being a taxi every time, you understand? So if you talk about ripple effect, there's no how more visitors doesn't equal to more opportunities, okay? So I think I've answered your question.
Just before we go, because we are slowly running out of time.
Okay.
I'd like to know, this conference, last year it was held in Enugu, this year it's still in Enugu.
Yes.
And what about, have you thought of, going past Enugu, maybe to other southeastern states, to also, aside from, looking at Enugu and touring the sites in Enugu, other instances like Abia, Imo, I'm sure they have other, tourist attractions as well. So is Giants Travel Business School thinking of, expanding this conference to other southeastern states as well?
You know how you have a headquarters and you have the branches.
Yeah.
So, but Enugu is more like home. Okay, it's home. There are several reasons why you choose a particular place for an event. Accessibility. We have people coming from Lagos, Abuja, outside the country too, and they use the airport and they drop into the airport and access the city easily. Okay, yes, we are looking at other states. We are beginning to talk with the authorities in other states because yes, you don't only stay in one place and access tourism. You have to move around. We are hoping to grow to an extent that we have pockets of events in other states that would feed the conference. And with time, we're hoping that Anambra takes the next, yes. And then we also spread it out. But Enugu would always be home.
Like you said, Enugu would most likely be the headquarters.
Enugu will always be home.
Okay, before we go, I want to know, for instance, if I want to be a tourist, what should I do? Should I go to a business school? What should I do? Or even if I want to enter Giants Travel Business School, what are the criteria, the procedures?
You just need to know how to read and write, first of all.
Okay.
And then you should, but we advocate for at least OND holders, okay? With time, you actually find out that you're going to upgrade yourself. In fact, you won't help it, you have to upgrade yourself, okay? So for you to get into the school, you get to register. We have a range of courses that we offer depending on what you want to major on. We start with the Travel Business Foundation because we believe that you get to know everything about the industry for you to know which side, what part of the industry your passion lies, okay? We have courses in visa processing as a way to sanitize that area of the industry, okay, and free it from a lot of scams and put in best industry practices, okay. We have the visa processing and application masterclasses. We have the ticketing and reservations, okay. We have the tourism, tour guiding and planning. And all of these courses have amazing facilitators handling them, people that are experienced, at least 10 years experience, not just theories, people that are in the field. So when you're training under us, you're actually getting trained by an entrepreneur who has gone through the challenges and already knows the question you're about to ask. Okay, that's our strong point. So you get to register, you get to make payment, and you get trained. We have times during the year.
All right. Thank you so much, Chioma Obifo. I always enjoy when you come on the show.
Honestly, very, very insightful. Thank you so much for joining us. We have been talking to Chioma Obi, a travel consultant, MD Jan's Travel Network, and Director of Jan's Travel Business School, ENUGU. We spoke on Domestic Tourism Conference, ENUGU 2025. And this is where we draw the curtain on our signature morning show today. Thank you for staying through with us. I am Lilian Wali.
And I am Uchenna Chimdi Oluoha. Have a lovely